Okay. So once again, a warm good morning to one and all. Welcome to the webinar on RPA, that is Robotic Process Automation, which is one of our webinar, is part of our webinar series by TheSmartBridge, which we've been doing like say around 1 month long. Without any further ado, I'm going to introduce our speakers for the day. We have Mr. MANJUNATH Chandrashekar, Program Manager, Blue Prism. He has a varied experience for more than 11 years into the areas of marketing, branding, people management, you name it. He's had the experience and also exposure to multinational working environments such as Cisco, VMware, and Symphony Teleca. We also have Mr. Vinay Shetty, Senior Consultant at Blue Prism, who is coming on board with 9 years of experience to help out Mr. Manjunath. So without any delay, I wish you guys a great session on RPA, and I wish Manjunath also a good interactive and knowledge sharing session. Over to you, Manjunath. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Vishnu. Good morning, all. The first session will be taken by Vinay Shetty, so I would like to introduce him, Vinay Shetty. So if you could take it from here on, that's all yours.
Thank you, Manjunath. Good morning, everyone. Just give me 1 second when I bring up my screen. As always, I think there might be some technical challenges. If I could request screen sharing capabilities, please, because right now it's disabled at my end.
Can you do it now? Let's check.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so firstly, thank you, everyone. If you do hear any background noises, I apologize in advance. If you cannot hear me, just ping on the chat and we will take a pause and we will revert to the pointers. Any questions that you might have, I would request you to put it on the chat and we will take it up at the end of the session. So firstly, thank you for joining in. It's a Saturday morning, so I deeply appreciate the time that you're providing to understand and learn more about RPA and Blue Prism. So the agenda for today is we're going to start off with a bit of an RPA 101 before we get into any product specific features or detailing. This is more to give the audience an understanding of what RPA is, and you might have heard a lot of buzzwords like digital transformation, automation, intelligent automation, and things like that in the market today. So what exactly is RPA? So that's what we're going to cover. We'll then get a little bit into Blue Prism. We do have a short video and we have some company background and history to provide. We will then talk about connected RPA and how RPA is getting more intelligent. We will then get a little more in detail around Blue Prism software itself. And then I would hand it over to Manjunath, who's a program manager for academia in India, to take you through Blue Prism University. So we hear a lot of buzzwords in the market today around digital transformation. And I remember being in your chair a few years ago, right? Maybe a decade ago, actually, where there were new technologies emerging even at that time. And we all used to wonder, fine, we understand that there are technology buzz terms, there are technologies to be learned, but how exactly does it impact businesses, right? And in that sense, we're trying to place where robotic process automation fits in. So quite surely you would have all heard about automation. It's been there for a while now. And usually when we have talked about automation, it's always been script-based automation in the past, which we also call as robotic desktop automation. Basically, that is one human user who is running a script, which then does automatedly some level of tasks. Robotic process automation takes it a level higher, okay? when we are talking about robotic process automation, we are talking about unattended automation, which means there is no requirement of a human intervention. And how that dives into your larger picture of digital transformation is by tying into technologies later on as machine learning and artificial intelligence. Again, we will touch on that a little more in detail when we come into connected RPA. So what is robotic process automation? Unlike a few misnomers, it is not exactly a physical robot. No robot sitting next to a user or within offices and actually typing or doing tasks. But there is a software robot which essentially does every task which a human worker would do. They can do all the actions that a human user would do in a very unattended fashion. When we say unattended, that means they can do it independently by themselves, right? So there's a schedule set for them and they just carry out a business process just as a human user would. They can do things like logging into applications, they can move files and folders, they can copy and paste data, they can move around data, they can log into websites, they can log into mainframe applications, whatever it is that a human worker does today, that can be done by a software robot or a digital worker in our terms. And that is what is RPA, which is robotic process automation. So a bit about Blue Prism, how we came into being. There is a short video to be played. It's about 1 minute. So let me know if you can hear the audio. If you don't hear the audio, just drop it in the chat. It's about 1 minute. I request your patience on this. Thank you.
In 2012, we changed the fabric of the enterprise. We took the concept of business-led automation and made it productive, secure, and flexible. Alongside visionary customers and knowledgeable partners, we introduced new concepts and unique ways of providing business-led operational agility. Our vision is the digital worker. We are creating the future of work, an on-demand, intelligent, autonomous digital workforce. Intelligent, connected, and easy to control. Blue Prism is giving business leaders the power to solve their business challenges using an operational code-free canvas to succeed in today's digital age with a new and disruptive approach that increases business value. We're creating an ecosystem of technologies, working with universities, researchers, and fellow technologists. Together, we're delivering on the vision of the world's most successful digital workforce. True Enterprise RPA.
Right. So you hear a lot of buzzwords there. Enterprise RPA. We are trying to envision a world where there's a digital workforce. So we want to give a little more of a background on how we came into being and what makes us relevant today. So our founders started off in a bank in the UK, and they started off with what we earlier mentioned, which was scripting business processes within the bank around loan application processing. And they started doing that on the desktops, and they would manually go and run these scripts for the bank at certain times whenever there was a high volume of, let's say, loan processing applications to be done. What they quickly realized was this wasn't scalable. Like, they could do it within that particular office, but the bank has like 150 branches across the globe. And it isn't really a scalable opportunity if you're going via the RDA route, which is more around scripting automation. Hence, they left the bank, and our founders found the company called as Blue Prism today. And they envisioned and started moving towards true enterprise scale automation, which is what we call as enterprise scale RPA. So that got formed around 2001. In 2008, our headquarters was established in London. And from there on, we have rapidly increased our team size. Now we have locations in over, I think, 15 plus geos, if I'm not mistaken. And we have about 1,000 clients and 350 plus partners as well. I might be slightly wrong of the numbers. It's changing daily because the industry and the marketplace is so hot at the moment that there are changes every day. So what is connected RPA, right? So everyone's trying to do some automation. Not everyone is trying to do the same automation though. There are some tasks which are more towards personal productivity, such as Excel macros, for example. So it helps probably an accountant to run an Excel macro, which helps solely the tasks that they do in their own way. But then you have the end-to-end processing, right? Which is where the enterprise RPA or industry scale automation comes in, wherein banks, wherein FMCG companies for the supply chain management, healthcare providers all need end-to-end automation without requiring any human intervention. That is where we call the pure play RPA used to come in. The advantages you see with that is operational excellence, and you see a dramatic ROI, which means return on investment. Moving forward though, that is not the only point which is going to remain with pure play RPA. We want to be advancing our technologies as the world advances. There are a lot of technologies like ML, which is machine learning and artificial intelligence and computer vision coming along. And what that entails for us is we need to be tightly integrated into those technologies so that they can be brought into this automation scope itself, which is where we're going to the reimagined processes. So things like customer experience, where you see chatbots, for example, if you're talking to a customer agent on Swiggy, right? You ordered something and you want some details about your order. Essentially, in the backend, there is a level of automation being done and a chatbot there to integrate and interface with the user. I'm not saying Blue Prism is there with Swiggy, I'm just giving an example. So those are the kind of technologies towards enhancing customer experience, towards enhancing innovation, which are coming into play. And that is where we get in the term known as connected RPA. So how does Blue Prism support connected RPA? We have our very robust intelligent RPA platform, which is the core product of ours, which is a core software and the technology, which we will get a little more into details. So you have the digital workers. How to create the digital workers is through the process studio and the control room. Then you have the digital exchange, which is more of an online marketplace. Think of it like your Android Play Store, right? If you want to download some productivity apps, you would do that. If you want to download some shopping apps, you would do that. Similarly, for Blue Prism Digital Worker, if they want to download some AI skills around vision and OCR, they would be able to do that. If they want to download anything around, let's say, speech translation on the Blue Prism Digital Exchange, they can do that. So basically, you can plug and play into this very robust RPA platform skills from the digital exchange. Supporting all this, this is a technology part, but supporting all this, we want to give the people touch as well, which is where we have our entire support services community as well as a robotic operating model. I will not get into a little more detail on that. It's a bit theoretical. I am conscious that we would want to get into the product and how you can use it quite soon. Underpinning all of that is also AI labs and innovation centers who are continuously evolving and bettering our product as the ecosystem changes. I'm just going to give a pause here at a moment and take any questions that have come until now.
Yes, Vinay, I'm just checking the questions. There are quite a few.
I can see only one, Manjunath. I'm sorry, I might be looking at the wrong place.
Yeah, it's in the chat, in fact. Most of the questions are in the chat. And let me check, and if I get something. I think we can move, and we can take the questions at the last. I will shortlist.
Questions will get answered as we go along, but we will take any bigger questions at the end which have not been answered, definitely. So we spoke about our product and we spoke about our core platform. So what parts are there in that core platform? One is the design studio. So for any product or any software or any technology, you want an interface to create that software, to start working on making something, on constructing. And that is where our process design studio comes in. Then we have the digital workers, which we spoke about. So they're conceptual in nature in the sense that they are not physical digital workers or robots, but they are the software robots which are there, which you have built along with the intelligent automation skills. And then you have the control room. Now, we did say that it's going to be unattended, right? But that does not mean that they should be left to do whatever they want. There are fears in the world. What if my digital worker decides to go and empty my bank account tomorrow? No, that will not happen, right? Firstly, the way you create the digital worker will not be done in that way, right? Unless your developer has really a cruel intention at the end of it, but that will not be happening because you will have testing and all of that happening in the life cycle. But once it's running, you definitely want to have some level of control on it, which is why the control room comes in. So you can basically set schedules. You can scale up and down the number of digital workers. You can see what the digital worker is actually doing in terms of the session logs and while not interrupting the digital worker in its operations. So all those parts are captured within the control room. So getting a little more in detail about the Blue Prism software itself, we wanted to get some comparison to you. There are other competitors in the market. I would refrain from talking specifically about them, but I would focus on Blue Prism. So in terms of learning, we do have the ability to develop and control. And also the Blue Prism University itself is a very, very robust medium for people to learn. Reusability is one of our key goals and aspects. So we bring in a bit of not exactly programming knowledge, but programming concepts in the sense of building smaller modules, building it in such a way that it can be reusable. Then we have cognitive capability, which is with the connected RPA that we just spoke about. Accuracy is quite high, which is pretty much with any digital worker that you create with Blue Prism. It will do almost 100% accurate tasks based on what you have built out. Not almost, even 100% accurate tasks based on what you built. The operational scalability with the control room, like we showed, is very high. The architecture is like a client-server architecture. Okay, so I will dive a little deeper into that. It's not too technological in the sense it's again conceptual. The process designer is a visual process designer, so there's essentially no coding required here. Okay, it's all drag and drop. If any of you are familiar with flowcharts, creating UCCs, even just logically thinking how a business process or your even your day-to-day process and while working with systems works, you can create this entire solution out. The base technology, the way our product is built is C#. You don't need to know C#. Again, you don't need to know C# to create solutions. It's just how our product has been built. Reliability is quite high, and there is a certification program, yes. I think there were a couple of questions around certifications. So yes, to answer your question, there is a certification program that you can take. Okay, to give a snapshot of how the Blue Prism automation software looks like, and I will give a live demo as well. So the various parts in the Blue Prism platform itself, if you see on the top is the studio, the control, the analytics, the releases, and the system. So if we leave the last three aside, when we spoke about the studio and the control room, essentially the studio is where you create it out, and the control room is where you manage the digital workers. So this is how essentially a studio would look like. Again, don't get perplexed by the number of different sections on the screen here. It's all very simple and logical. For example, the flow here is talking about opening an employee database and checking if they are basically present within the database, scanning for human images, and then moving ahead. And the skill that it is using here is Microsoft Vision. I do have a demo to show towards the end, which can explain a little more in detail and bring to life for you how exactly a skill is used along with automation. Next up is the control room, which we spoke about. So on the right-hand side, when you see available resources, these are essentially your digital workers, all right? And on the left-hand side is whatever processes you have created, which could relate to one or many business processes. And the way you automate is very simple. You just drag and drop from the available processes section into the available resources, and you're ready to go. The section below, which is the environment section, is showing which digital worker is working which process. So it's all drag and drop, visually friendly. There's no requirement of coding as such, but a logical bent of mind is necessary. So before we get into Learning Edition, I do want to get a little more hands-on. I will stop sharing my screen for a second and come back with the studio. Right. So we were talking about the control room, and instead of pictures, now we actually have the software in play now. And we spoke about the studio. So within the studio, again, there are two different parts. There is the process layer, which is where your business logic ties in. And then you have the object layer. The object layer is basically what you use to interface with applications. Now, when we spoke about the client-server architecture there, this is what we mean, basically, that there's a loosely decoupled architecture in place, which allows a business logic layer to be separated out from your interface layer, where you're identifying elements within a screen for your automation. So we will get a little more into detail on this. So for example, for the purpose of our demo today, I've created a simple, very simple object. So this is the Object Studio. And the way you use this Object Studio is there is something known as Application Modeler. The Application Modeler is where you would start building out elements or identifying elements within an application and then storing it here for you to perform certain actions on later. In this particular example, I have just logged into a HDFC website, and they had an EMI calculator, which is basically open for all. So I try to identify the input element there and then enter some data into it. Okay. So the way you would do that, and to showcase how you get to the point of getting an element in here, let's add another element. So first thing that you'll have to do is give the URL in the application modeler of the, let's say, the website. For example, this is a web application, so that's why I need to enter a URL. If it's not a website application, if it's a desktop application, you can do that as well. You don't need any URL. All right. So now that I've given the URL here, I will launch that through the application modeler. And this particular website comes up. Okay. So let me take this to the side. Let me take this to the side. Okay, so we have already identified one element. Let's see how that looks when I click on, let's say, highlight. So it comes around with a red rectangle saying, hey, I recognize this element. Let's say you want to add one more element now. Let's add number of installments. So we click on add element here. Now you'll see that this is completely blank and it has no name. The way you would identify this element is just by clicking identify. And then you will see on the section when you highlight over this particular element, there's a green color box. So just do a control and right click, and you will see that all the properties for the element have been collected. You give it a name. The name that I want to give this one is input installments. I click apply. And let's say again, if this element is identified or not, I click on highlight. I should be able to see it here, highlighting it. So basically this is the way you build up an object. An object is meant for you to build up interface points, right? Or elements which act as interface points to an actual application. Once you have these interface points, you can do exactly any kind of a task that a human worker would, right? So essentially, if you gave an analogy to a human worker, when they open the website, the first thing that our eyes do is recognize, okay, which fields are there? There is an amount to invest. There is number of installments that I need to enter, right? And then I perform some certain actions like writing an amount into it or typing an amount into it, right? So let's see how we can do that now. I do see quite a few hands being raised. I will pause and answer any queries once I'm done with showing how do you write an amount into this. All right. So let's refresh and so right now, if you see this is 0 here, let's just go here and click on play. It's written an amount inside this particular action, right? I have done entering of a value of 10,000. Now you have a whole list of actions here on the left-hand side that you will see. And this is how you do it. You will either write an amount or you'll read a particular label or an information from a website or an application. You'll want to navigate, basically, let's say you want to go from section X of the application to section Y. You can do that. And so on. So you have multiple actions that you can do here. Let's see if the amount got entered here. You will see that the amount got entered, right? Now we added a new element called as number of installments. Let's try to add right into that as well. Let's call out a write action, double click on it. Now on the right hand side, you will see that there were 2 elements selected that were created. We already have the amount being written. Let's write the installments also. You drag that into elements. Again, there is no coding required. You just drag and drop. And then you write a value of, let's say, 12 installments. Okay. You click OK. And you give it a good name. Again, it's all drag and drop. Like we said, the visual designer, if you remember when in the earlier slides, and then you just need to connect it by clicking on link and then connect it. I'm going to close this particular website. It's launched. And now let's run it to see that both values are entered. So both values got entered automatically. You can see that my mouse hasn't moved. The automation solution in the object layer has just run through and it's performed the action of entering your amount to invest and the installment. So basically in 2 fields, it's entered values based on the flow that you have created. So I'm going to give a pause here and answer any questions that might be there.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions, Vinay. Is Blue Prism an open source? That's the first question.
So Blue Prism is not open source in the sense that our proprietary, our source code is not available for all. That said, the way you build out these applications and these solutions is you do have learning editions, you do have trial editions. If you want to play around and understand how it works, that is definitely possible. Which is free, by the way. So Manjunath will cover a little more onto that later.
Thank you. And the second one is computer vision and image processing are same?
You could say to some extent, yes. There are types when you're talking about image processing, there are different types of image processing that happens. You would want to recognize pictures, you would want to recognize characters, elements, data fields, shapes. So computer vision as such can do pretty much the entire gamut of the image processing, whereas OCR, which is optical character recognition, would probably recognize only your characters, which are more useful when you're processing invoices, where you still need some level of automation to read through invoice fields, values, and then do the automation. Computer vision is more useful from image processing terms. For example, when you're running through KYC documents, you need the image of the person to be captured. You need the details to be captured at the same time.
Okay. So there are a lot of questions which are coming in regarding certifications and what kind of opportunities students and faculties get. I am going to explain it in a while once we cover the technical session. Please bear with us and stay with the webinar so that you will get more information on this. Thank you, Vinay. You can continue.
Thank you. So moving away from the object layer, so now we know that how to interface with applications. I just want to showcase how the Process Studio works. The Process Studio looks pretty much the same as your Object Studio. Okay. The only difference is you would not want to interface with the applications on the process layer. That is the job of the Object Studio to do. Once the Object Studio has created a particular action, for example, I've created this action, that's where the flow is, which says write amount. This is then visible within your process layer. So within the process layer, all you need to do is to start again. All you need to do is call out an action. And when you double click on the action, you will see business object. So you call upon the business object which you have created, which is SIP Calc. Okay, SIP Calculator, that's the website you're working with. And then you will see which are the actions which are available for you to invoke. Okay. And just click and select that. And once you're done, you do a connect. You're ready to run this just as the previous example that we showed. There is some configuration required around this, in the sense you would want to launch the application. You want to ensure that the launch has gone successful, which I'm not showcasing here for the brevity of time.
Can I just a moment? Sorry to interrupt. I think the screen is not moving.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, now it is.
So I'll roll back a minute. So what I was saying is this. So this is the Process Studio. Okay. And it's very similar to the Object Studio. And again, it's very visually driven. The way you would use a Process Studio is to basically connect multiple parts of objects and actions together to form what a business process would look like. For example, if a business process was for a human user to enter all these details, then click calculate and then perform some more actions, then you would have multiple actions created within the object, but how and which steps need to be followed is done within the process layer. So the way you would call across these actions from the object layer into the process layer is by just dragging and dropping the action here, action section from again the left-hand side, which gives you a lot of functions to do. And you click on, double click on action. The business object that you created was SIP Calc, SIP Calculator. And then you call the action which we have done, which is write amount, and you click OK. That's it. You're done on your process layer as well. You just link them apart. And then you just need to go and run them. Okay. So that's essentially, and whenever you're closing a solution, again, it will prompt you to save your changes to ensure that none of your work is lost. So I'm going to just add a comment here, which makes sense when I come back to it. And if we go back to our control room, you will see that there are two things here. One is the process layer, which we just showed, and then the object layer. You will see on the right-hand side a version history or a track of all the changes that you made and the comments that you've added. So from the morning when I started creating this, I created the business object, then I made some changes to identify that application modeler. And right now we just made that action to enter the amount. So all of that is tracked here as well. A little more dive into the control room. So this is the control room that we're talking about. So this is my machine at the moment where I have a license for Blue Prism installed. If I was to publish the process from here, from the studio, then I would be able to see it within the control room, and then I just have to drag and drop it. That I will show you a working example of that shortly. But this is how your entire Blue Prism platform is built out. So you have the process layer, the object layer, the business layer, and the application interface layer. I do have one short video to share. Any questions before that for a couple of minutes, which are technical? There are some interesting questions in terms of agriculture. Yeah, I would say there is scope for using RPA in agriculture. The way we would do that, I will come back to that in a bit. I'll just run the video to continue the flow, and we will come back to these questions. So the demo that we're going to see is essentially going to interact across 3 different parts of applications. One is your Outlook email inbox, okay? So basically this use case is about a KYC processing. So let's say a bank has, or even your Ola, right? Or even Paytm, when you have to verify your KYC, you actually walk into a center or you ask one of the agents to come, they click a picture and then they go back, and then there's a manual process in the back end, which is verifying it, entering your details, and then you're verified for your KYC. This is a brief example of how you can automate it. So basically the user just sends across their details over an email. It comes into an Outlook email inbox. The digital worker, from the time it comes into the inbox, it picks up those documents. It starts saving them into a local file location, and then it starts reading all the details and putting it into a report to send out to a business user or an agent saying, I have verified this KYC, I verified these details. So this is for your perspective to do any future processing. So I'm just going to run this video. It's a quick 7-minute video, but I have accelerated it, so it should be over in about 3 to 4 minutes. And this is using cognitive services, which is Microsoft's cognitive services and Microsoft Vision.
Taking you through the Blue Prism KYC presentation. This demonstration utilizes Blue Prism software, inbound emails to the organization, and processing of those files utilizing the Microsoft Cognitive Services. On the right-hand side of my screen here, I have the Blue Prism Control Center. This Control Center enables us to manage and develop our Blue Prism robots to perform tasks within our digital workforce. Standing in for a business process platform today, we will be using Microsoft Word to take all of the outputs from the process and collate them into a document to present. So to start, I'm going to open up my studio here. And this studio enables me to see the various processes and application interactions that we've defined using Blue Prism. Selecting the KYC demo, I have here the process that's been set up, and opening this up, what we will be presented with is a visual diagram, much like Visio, showing the process that's going to be run and the various steps that occur. Blue Prism's process designer is a drag and drop designer that uses standard objects to enable a business user to map a process into the software without needing to do any programming whatsoever. What we've done to make this easy to interpret and understand is we support multiple pages to spread this particular process into each of the various steps and sub-processes that may occur. So for example, opening up, looking at the email client and checking for whether or not an email has arrived into the system that we need to process. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit the go button. Now what we're going to see as this runs is the process stepping through each of the items within Blue Prism to see if there's any tasks. So what we're doing now is it's looking in the temporary folder on the Outlook client here to see if there's an email. And then once it's found that there is an email in there, it's going to loop through and ensure that the attachments on that email are saved to a location for processing. Once that's happening, that email is then marked into a valid folder here to showing that it's been grabbed by the Blue Prism software. Blue Prism will now go through and check the validity of the files before processing them to ensure that the appropriate files have been found on the email. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to use Microsoft Cognitive Services to go through and utilize functions like Microsoft Vision to OCR the utility bill that we've received in this particular case. So sending this file here up to Microsoft Cognitive Services and going through and extracting information like the contract holder, the date of the bill from the software to enable us to ensure that we've got all of the correct information. We then use the same cognitive services to then go through and interpret Janice's payslip. So understand the amount of money that's being paid to Janice, understand the net amount on the net pay position on the payslip. Now, taking this further and utilizing other functions within Microsoft Cognitive Services, we can then process Janice's ID card. So enabling us to look at the ID, but then also extract not just her name from the ID and address and other important information needed for processing, but also using the facial recognition capabilities within Microsoft Cognitive Services to go through and extract Janice's face from the ID. And using, as you can see there were 3 different faces on the ID. Cognitive Services has the smarts to go through and determine which one's the best one to use at that point in time and extract just the face from her identification card. Next, what we're going to do is utilize another function within Microsoft that enables us to understand and interpret handwriting. So going through and turning what is a handwritten document into a machine-readable text. So not just going through and understanding it's a handwritten document, but actually understanding the text on here. So what we've done again is uploaded this image up to Cognitive Services, and from that we've then created a text file that we can use for processing or utilization in any of the steps within the process. So here we can see the text that we've extracted from the handwritten authorization and the document itself that we've handled, enabling us to unlock the information that's been stored on documents that traditionally would not be accessible to us as part of a process like this. Now, with Blue Prism, we're able to put in pauses and breaks as part of our development process, so that we can step in at any point, check how the process is performing as part of our development steps, or more importantly, enabling us also to step into the process at any particular point in time and just change and tweak a process that we may have in flight with Blue Prism. So instead of having to run all the pre-prep, just running the steps that matter for us when we're developing and changing and augmenting our processes to drive further continual improvement using the Blue Prism platform and digital workforce. So I'm just going to continue the process at this point in time, and what we're going to do is we're going to use Microsoft Word now to as a placeholder for what would typically be a BPM platform or other system of record that this information might go into. So here we've got a Word document, and the robot is now going through and populating it with all of the information that's relevant from the documents that have been supplied to us, including not just text, but media and that handwritten information that was provided to us. So this brings to an end a quick demonstration of Blue Prism augmented by Microsoft Cognitive Services to enable the robot to have a brain and to perform more functions in a rich manner.
So that's basically a use case with using Blue Prism and the AI technology and the entire connected RPA bit, which we touched upon earlier, on how you can automate end-to-end an entire KYC processing, right? So the potential is unlimited. The boundaries are endless in terms of automation when you start plugging it with intelligent automation technologies. And that's where Blue Prism stands at the moment, and we are evolving even further day by day. The first steps, though, is to basically understand what does automation do and why is it useful. Once you understand that basic notion on why and how automation actually works at an enterprise scale and why it is essential for it to be unattended, in the sense that not with human interventions, you can start really seeing the benefits of automation. To answer the question which came up earlier, and this is just me ideating at the moment, right? A question came in whether there is scope for agriculture in using RPA. I would say, sure, why not? But you would have to integrate it with other technologies also, like let's say your IoT. Let's say you have smart farming tomorrow, right? You don't want farmers to be going into the fields and checking every area of, let's say, 100 acres of land. If you have sensors within different parts of the field, which say if a soil has dried up, it needs watering, or there is a particular agriculture plan itself that these particular sections of crops need this much water. Based on the data which you're getting from the sensors and the IoT devices, you can have a Blue Prism process running in the background, which automatically turns on and turns off valves for supplying water around an irrigation system within your farms. So like I said, I think the potential could be boundless. Like I don't see any boundaries as such when you start integrating technologies and platforms. And that's where our world is heading towards also. It's not just purely RPA. It's about bringing everything together and making a difference in businesses, right? And it's a very hot industry, very hot skill sets to have. And I keep seeing, whenever I visit my customers and partners, I keep seeing innovations every other time. So, but again, the most basic understanding of what RPA is absolutely necessary. So if you can go through the training, which probably Manjunath will explain a little more and deeper to you, and understand how automation and Blue Prism works, you can then start thinking about use cases. We do have white papers and case studies on our portals and websites as well, which will help you in thinking what kind of cases can be done. So that's pretty much it from my end. I thank you all so much for your patience. It's been a wonderful session. I'm really glad I got the opportunity to explain what Blue Prism is, and probably bring to life a little more on what RPA, unattended RPA, enterprise scale RPA is to you folks. I will see if there are any questions and try to answer them.
So we have two questions for you, Vinay. One is, could you please tell us how this RPA may be applied to the core industries?
So when you, could I request the asker to elaborate what exactly do you mean by core industries? Or Manjunath, if you understand, are you talking about manufacturing? Are we talking about FMCG? What kind of industries are we talking about? Because automation has been used across, to answer that question brief, there have been use cases in manufacturing plants, in bettering the supply chain, in FMCG companies. There have been use cases to apply RPA to core industries, and there are use case and white papers around that. So I'm not sure about the phrase core industry. So if someone can just elaborate on that, I could probably take that question a little better.
Okay. The next question is, can we use this instead of Java, Python-based applications?
Okay, so if the Java, Python-based applications are for automation, yes, you can definitely try to use Blue Prism instead of those. Blue Prism is a lot more robust in the sense that you don't need to use any programming, right? You don't need to create any Java or Python-based applications. So Blue Prism, like you saw, is all drag and drop, code-free. There are opportunities to integrate code if you require, right? But we've seen very rare cases of that happen. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, this can be used instead of Java and Python based. Those applications are being used for automation.
Thank you. And the one last question is, how can we convert a handwritten document into normal text using AI technology? Is there any option?
Okay, so I'll be honest and level with you on how advanced is this technology, right? There are a lot of image processing and OCR vendors or platforms in the market who are recursively bettering this technology. There is no one technology today which can read every type of handwritten document. There are varying percentages of accuracy to which they can guess the data within the handwritten documents, but there is no AI technology today which can do 100% on any type of handwritten document. All right. So there are examples within our digital exchange. The Microsoft Vision, which we just showed, is one of them. Again, it does it to some level of accuracy if the handwriting is fairly legitimate, that it can read what are the characters, it can understand them, then it can capture that data in, right? Nothing is 100%. So banks also, for example, if you're, so when I talk about this technology, I think it can be applicable in banks, for example, where there are signature recognitions, validations to happen, invoice checks to happen, right, in handwritten notes. Even banks have certain level of processes which require certain level of accuracy with these technologies. So it's a maturing technology. So you will see that it grows completely when it keeps maturing over the next few years.
Thank you so much, Vinay. I think we have covered most of the questions which were there, but we would also encourage to post your questions to the Smart Education so that they can send it to us, and we will try to address all your queries, whatever you have. I hope you all found this session interesting, the first half, and there is a second half. Vinay, would you like to cover anything more?
No, that's pretty much it from my end. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining and listening in so patiently on Saturday morning. I really appreciate it. And I hope you can find skill sets for your use within Blue Prism. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Vinay, for your time and information. So guys, we are about to cover the second half right now. I'm sure that most of you are pretty excited to know what exactly Blue Prism is offering in terms of certifications. How can you learn Blue Prism, and how can you use Blue Prism tool? So all this will be covered in this session for you all. So please bear with me and let me know if you have any queries. I have taken most of your queries in the first session about the certification as well as the opportunity what you have in the market right now. So let me explain about that and address your queries later. So I hope you all got the brief information about the Blue Prism product right now. Thanks to Vinay for explaining in detail about our product and also showing the hands-on experience. The main reason why we thought that should be covered first, because we all want you to understand the Blue Prism product first before knowing what kind of opportunities you have in the market and also what kind of learning facilities we have within us. So to start with, what is Blue Prism University? Blue Prism University is part of Blue Prism, which offers learning opportunity to any participant across the globe so that they can register into our university platform, go through our various course certification courses, and also earn certificates and ensure that they get hands-on experience through our tools. So let me explain, but let me start with a video. Let me know if you find any issues in the audio.
Imagine working with a technology that's so influential, it's being used by the world's largest organizations. They're not only using this technology to enhance their business, but to reinvent themselves too, so they stay ahead. You can become part of this exciting future by joining Blue Prism University and learning about what's driving this seismic change. Connected RPA.
Since we pioneered this technology in 2001, our Connected RPA is now the gold standard. I myself use Connected RPA with great success at BNY Mellon. It really does work. And as it evolves, it'll do even more, faster, and better. Through Blue Prism University, you'll learn loads about this technology. Once you've reached certification or completed the selected area of study, you'll be well positioned to use Blue Prism's digital workforce and then actually change the way work will be done. With the right experience combined with multiple credentials from Blue Prism University, the sky is the limit.
Our university is truly global. It's open to anyone, anywhere, anytime. You'll receive world-class training, learning about our technology and how to access and apply cutting-edge AI, cognitive, and other capabilities.
By joining Blue Prism University through a growing network of education partners, you'll experience the best learning journey suited to your career goals. You'll engage with the finest curriculum development team and achieve a world-class certification. Our online course offering is free and self-paced, and our instructor-led training can be delivered via the classroom and virtually too. Our goal is for you to build expertise in developing, analyzing, managing, and employing connected RPA, so you quickly reach your potential.
There's a growing global demand for people with connected RPA skills, so any operations professional should consider enhancing their careers to work in this exciting, fast-paced world. After running intelligent automation programs,
I'm sorry that I heard that the audio is very low. I'm just checking why is it too low, because I've given the full. Just a moment, guys.
And at HSBC, I believe that those who are logical thinkers and enjoy problem solving will thrive in human-machine roles that are now being created in enterprise environments.
Our university is about collaboration, diversity, and pushing innovation. It's working with the world's top brands, solving their biggest challenges, and influencing their business. It's sharing experience and providing support to new beginners. Blue Prism University is equipping learners with the best technology and empowering them to be bold.
So I'm really not sure if the audio was too low, because I have kept it full, and I also tried to ensure that the audio is correctly connected. I mean, it's connected exactly how it needs to be, but I'm still not sure. I will be sharing the video with you all. I mean, I'll be sharing the link of the video so that you can have a view and let us know your inputs on that. So why one should teach RPA right now? So if we look at the current market situation, so according to 2019 Forces report, the worldwide market for robotic process automation, this is how it looks like. So 7 billion in 2020. That's how the job market is right now. And by 2023, we may have somewhere around 12 billion who will be getting certified. And that's how the industries are also looking at in terms of numbers. So there are various options in terms of certifications. And one should definitely learn RPA because that is one of the buzzword in the market right now. And it's also an emerging technology where most of the companies are looking at. So this is what the opportunity looks like right now. And yes, of course. So what is Blue Prism University is all about? What all we have under Blue Prism University umbrella? So we have training, certification, academia program, and learning community. So majorly, since I consider that most of the participants are from institutions, so I will explain in detail about the academia program, what kind of opportunities each students and educators are having in terms of Blue Prism University, and where can they take up and what exactly they can do in terms of earning the certificates and enhancing their skills. So what is Blue Prism Academia program? So it's a major trend right now in the world that poses fundamental challenges, and to ensure that bridging the skill gap between industry and academia, most of the organizations come up with their own product to teach students and also educators to ensure that they get right hands-on experience and information about the product. So Blue Prism University Academia program is one such program where we bridge the skill gap between industry and academia by offering various certification programs to educators and students so that they can go through it, get a proper hands-on experience, and learn during their education journey. So Blue Prism Academia program enables educators and students, as I said, through academic institutions. We will partner with all the institutions as part of our academia program and offer various certification courses. So we will sign an MOU as I saw various questions on this. Yes, of course. We will sign an MOU with the institutions so that they will be part of our academia program, and we will offer various opportunities and benefits, which I'm going to explain in the further slide. So what are the benefits academia or the institution gets by partnering with Blue Prism University Academia program? So first of all, we will be offering free Blue Prism software license for the institutions, so which can be installed in their computer labs, and where students can get into their computer labs and ensure that enroll into our course content and have a proper hands-on experience and also learn during their education journey at their institution. So that is one of the biggest advantage what we give. When I say about software license, if anyone wants to buy it outside, it may go up to 8,000 GBP each license cost, but we are going to give it for free of cost. So 8,000 GBP may somewhere come around 6 to 7 lakh rupees per year. But over here for the institution and for the learning purpose, we are going to give it for free of cost for these colleges, and students can utilize it, even the educators for that matter. And the next benefit is user-friendly LMS providing access to world-class teaching. We have created our course content and we have uploaded it in our LMS portal, which can be accessible for free of cost again. So there is no charges for accessing our LMS content as well, and ensuring that go through our course content. It's all the video-based course content what you have with a lot of problem-solving statements where you need to play around, build the solutions for those problem-solving statements, and that's how we believe one can learn and get a better knowledge on our products and tools. And the third is, that's what I said, free hands-on labs, which has a lot of problem-solving statements where you need to play around by downloading our software into your systems and then build the solutions for those problem-solving statements and come up with your own. You can also create your own problem-solving statements and create the solution for that, and play around and get more information about and details about our tools as well as our content. And the next is Blue Prism authorized curriculum to prepare for certification exams. So what we do is, if institutions are really interested to incorporate our course into their curriculum. We also encourage that to do, and we sit with the board of studies to map if there are any interest level to map the course content and incorporate our content into their curriculum. We also do that for free of cost and ensure that through this students will get more hands-on experience and there will be more seriousness when it comes as part of curriculum. So we sit with various autonomous institutions, deemed universities, as well as state universities to do that. And few of them have already incorporated across India and offering it as part of their curriculum. So role-based certification exams. So over here, I will explain what kind of certification opportunities each and every person gets. And there is a growth, there is continuity, it's not stagnant, and there are a lot of opportunities in terms of career growth for students. And if faculties are really interested to take it as part of their career, definitely there is an option for that as well. I will explain it when I get into the next slides. In-person, virtual, or on-demand train the trainer classes. So right now, all our course content are available for free of cost in our LMS portal. Anybody can enroll into it and take it as part of their self-learning option. But if any of the institution is looking for instructor-led training, yes, of course, there is an option for that. We could discuss in detail. We have options to organize instructor-led training in your institution, but for that we need to discuss in detail where what kind of interest level your institutions are having, and what exactly are you going to achieve from the instructor-led training. So all those can be discussed in detail, and we can get into an MOU and we can see how best we can support each other in terms of training facilities. And the next is RPA competitions and campaigns. Yes, of course, our program never ends only at regular training offerings, but also we consider to engage the student community as well as the educator community. So considering all those, we are coming up with various competitions and campaigns to keep the excitement level on a higher note. So we can discuss in detail with the interested institutions. So this is how this certification pathway looks like. I should say it starts from the developer certification, which has no prerequisite. Anybody can take up the developer certification pathway and ensure that they go through our course content through our LMS. It has two options. One is the foundation training, which is for the 50 hours, and the advanced level of training, which is for the 150 hours. So this will be for the beginner. Whoever wants to start their journey with Blue Prism, they can think about Blue Prism developer certification pathway and go through the course content. Once they're done with the course content, how to get the certification done, they need to visit right now to any of the Pearson VUE test center and give their examination and earn their digital badge. So that's how you will be earning the Blue Prism developer certification. So course content is for free of cost. Even downloading our tool is for free of cost. You need to go through our course content and visit the Pearson VUE test center to give your examination, which is followed by various other certifications as well. Professional developer, solution designer, ROM architect, technical architect, and installation engineer. So all these certification followed by developer certification needs some kind of experience level where you need to go through and get proper hands-on experience before you take up the next level of certification. So once you complete the developer certification, the next level of action items will be mentioned in the LMS portal and in our developer certification pathway. So you can go through the document and you can ensure that you can get the right information before you take up the next certification. So now let me explain how to go to our portal and how to download our software and where all you get, which are the source where you get these softwares and the course content. So I'm explaining on that. So if you want to download the Blue Prism Learning Edition, which is for free of cost, this is one of the option which I was mentioning, apart from the training license which will be given for the institutions. There are two options where you can look at. If you want to take it as an in-person training without entering into the institution, and if you want to take it on your own, so this is one of the options where you can download the software for free of cost, which will be valid for 90 days period of time. So once you complete the 90 days validity, you can again renew the software by sending the request. So it's not an issue on that. So once you visit the digital exchange platform, once you go to the digital exchange platform, you can find this link where the tab where you can download the license, which is for the 90 days period of time, valid for 90 days time, and you can go through the course content and you can play around and get the hands-on experience. So this is one of the option. How to go to this particular page? So to do that, please visit Blue Prism University. When you type Blue Prism University in the Google, you will be going to this page. You can visit this page, and then I will show you how exactly you can download the software and access the course content. When you scroll down, there is an option called Go to Blue Prism University tab. Click on the tab. Yeah, so when you click on the tab, it takes you all to this particular page. Over here, you need to sign up, create your account, and make sure that you enter all your details, and then click on login. Create all your account with the username and password, and then log in with your username and password. So over here, you need to visit training offering via LMS. So we have all the tabs over here, which I'm going to mention, which is there under Blue Prism umbrella, which is training LMS, certification. It says what all the certifications options we have with the pathways, and what is academia program, and training partners, who are our partners, and learning community. I'm going to explain what is it all about, and some of the FAQs if you need any information on. So once you click on the LMS tab, it will take you to our LMS tab. And over here, one can click on this particular link, Learning Edition, and get to this page to download our Learning Edition software. So once you log in and click on the license link, it's a self explanatory page. Everything is self-explanatory. You need to just mention few of the details and click on submit. Once you do that, within a few hours of time, you will receive this email from our digital worker team, and which says there is a license key over here, and also the process which explains how to download our software and install it in your system with the prerequisites. So that's how you can get into our software page. And for the course content, everything is available over here. As I said, you need not visit anywhere. You can go through the foundation training here. There is a tab. Once you click on that, it will take you to the foundation training page. And for the advanced level of training, you need to click on here. It will take you to advanced training. So this is all about the self-learning pace. It's not an instructor-led training. It's all the self-learning training mode. So if you are interested to be part of our academia program, and if you want to opt the instructor-led training, which is much recommended, because when you get into the self-learning mode, you may miss out on few of the options compared to what instructor-led training is all about. So if you are interested in that, please contact us or Smart Education, so that they will be definitely guiding you through how exactly you need to enroll for instructor-led training with Blue Prism Academia program. So any doubts over here? Vishnu, are you there?
Yeah.
So is there any questions?
I think you can go through the Q&A. In the meantime, I would like to share a bit about remote internship program that we have. Once you can stop your screen share, I'll just.
Okay, so before I do that, I have one more section to explain.
Please, please,
Uh,
please go ahead.
yeah. So let me also explain. We have done few analysis on demand supply of RPA talent in India. So this showcases what is the demand opportunity. I mean, what is the job opportunity in India, and how exactly RPA is benefiting the students as well as any learners for that matter. So this is what LinkedIn has done, and there was a survey done in the early January, and they have come up with 15 emerging jobs in India. So there are two opportunities when it comes to robotic process automation, which says robotic process automation consultant and robotics engineer. These are the two job titles which are mentioned in this 15 emerging jobs in India, which is for 2020. So I should say there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to RPA in the market right now. Most of the companies are looking at RPA to automate their process, and they're looking at certified people who can join them and enhance their process and projects. So I should also explain which all companies segment wise are looking at what number of talent pool in India. So when it comes to IT business process management services, companies like Accenture, TCS, Cognizant, and many more, which are mentioned over here, are looking at uh, certified RPA people who can join them. So on an average, it should be somewhere around 40K to 45K jobs are being created through business process management services. And when it comes to top RPA solution providers who are product oriented companies, companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, SAP, and many more are looking at people who are certified people who can join them. And yes, of course, there is a major workloads as well, which has been defined over here, which you can look at it. And on an average, somewhere around 20 to 25K job employed talents are there with these organizations right now. Uh, these are specifically for RPA talent, right? And the next would be other organizations which are finance oriented, retail oriented, and many more, which can be considered over here. Companies like JP Morgan, HSBC, Citi, and etc. So overall, this is exclusively for India, which I'm talking, and this particular survey has been done by NASSCOM. So somewhere around 30 to 35K employed talents are available with these organizations. So this is how the opportunity is emerging in these segments. And overall total employed talent in India is somewhere around 100 to 120K right now, exclusively for RPA. So this is how the market looks like right now. And when it comes to talent growth in India, when we consider FY20, financial year 20, so as I explained, talent growth forecast is somewhere around 100 to 120K as of 2020. But when we look at 2025, we may consider somewhere around between 200 to 250K certified people who will be there in the market, because that's how the demand is getting generated in the market right now. And when it comes to job openings growth forecast, so right now somewhere around 12K to 15K year on year, the job opening opportunities are there in India right now in the Indian market. So this forecast was done between March 2019 to Feb 2020. So by 2025, we should be having somewhere around 28 to 32K jobs, projected jobs available exclusively in India when it comes to RPA. And yeah, talent demand numbers for popular job roles, which we have shortlisted because these are the popular job roles where most of the companies will be looking at. So when it comes to RPA, automation analyst, RPA developer is one of the major job where every company looks at. RPA architect, not just the developer, but also the architect and the production manager, and few of them. So right now, when it comes to the analyst or the consultant, we have around 11,000 jobs already people who have been deployed. So somewhere around 1,200 plus jobs will be created for FY 2020 right now, and similarly various other roles as well, where the job creations will be happening. And we have also mentioned what kind of platforms these companies will be using to create these job roles. So Blue Prism, you can see Blue Prism is everywhere. And also we have mentioned what kind of languages or the programming skills which is required in terms of using this software. But having said that, Blue Prism, to manage any of the Blue Prism tool, there is no need of any of the languaging skills or the programming skills. It's all inbuilt, so anyone can use the tool and ensure that they can play around and build the solutions for the problem-solving statements. So some of the customers and the partners of Blue Prism. So we are working with all these partners and customers right now across the globe and in India as well. Some of the major partners in India, if you want to consider, Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, ENY, HCL, Wipro, and Accenture. So these are some of the major customers whom we are working with, apart from the banking and finance sector, as well as the retail sector. For example, if I want to name ICICI, so few of them with the financial sector who are part of our partner program. So we are working with them closely, and they are using our tools to enhance their process and business functions. So these links will be shared with you all through Smart Education, so that it will be accessible for you all. Those who are interested, you can get in touch with them and then ensure that get these free resource links to take a look at and get into our system and play around with our course content. So before we do that, I think Smart Education has something to explain about the remote internship program, which they are trying to link with Blue Prism University program, academia program offerings. So definitely it's a good opportunity for you all to consider and ensure that be part of our program and learn the RPA journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinay, and as well as Manjunath. It was a great session. In the meantime, I would request you to go through the Q&A questions that the attendees have mentioned. So you could answer them in the text, or just jot down few so that we can answer them in live. Give me 5 minutes to explain the remote internship program, so that I'll share my screen, and
Yep.
we'll again get back to your Q&A session, and we can wrap the session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I stop my screen?
Yeah. Yes,
share?
please.
Just a moment. I think it's stop share. Yeah, start.
Okay. Hi guys, again. Can just let me know if my screen is visible. Let me know if my screen is visible. If you can see the remote internship program. Yeah. Yes, right. Am I audible, everyone? Just let me know. Okay, cool. So, okay. So without any delay, like I would like to get into the point in short. So now, can I assume that we all agree for a fact that there is a huge skill gap in the market? Just let me know yes or no. Do we all agree there is a huge skill gap in the market? All the students in the webinar, please give your opinions. Okay, cool, awesome. So my next question is the curriculum that we are having in the colleges across India, is it enough for us to take on the industry at the right go after we graduate from the college? Is it enough? Is industry requirement meeting the academic curriculum? Yes or no? No. Definitely we need industry requirement. Okay, cool. So awesome. So what do you think is the difference? Like what do you, I think I've addressed this point in the very beginning, but not many of you have joined then. What is the main difference that you guys now, maybe you're in second year or third year or even fourth year, and even academic faculties are there here who has a lot of experience. So according to you, in your experience, what do you think is missing in our academic point of view, in our learning point of view, in our methodology point of view? What is missing? Give me your answers, guys. Whatever you think, be free. Please put in your application. Yes, application oriented practical session. Exactly. What else? Lack of exposure to industry is excellent. Very good point. Real time exposure, practical sessions, industry interaction, huge gap. Awesome. Yeah. Curriculum. There's a gap between curriculum and industry. Okay. Right. All the points are totally valid, very valid points. The fact is that even AICT, the government, everyone has realized this point now. It is like even it is starting a change, but for a root democracy like India, for us, it is not easy to bring the change like on like in an instant, right? So, as you know, there's a huge importance being given to internship based learning. And coming back to my question, the difference, what's the gap between our academic industry? That, as you can see on the screen, is project-based learning plus internship or industry interaction. So these are the two key factors that, as you all also clearly mentioned, and we as a company also clearly observed, being in academia for more than 4 to 5 years, we've been trying to upskill students since our inception on the hands-on learning and emerging technologies. We've clearly seen that giving students a practical experience on real-time project problem statements, as well as having such industry interactions, be it Blue Prism, be it IBM, be it VMware, taking problem statements from the companies, putting the students in a company-like work environment, and giving them that exposure will be the best foot forward to make them industry ready. So this is our flagship program, the summer internship program, and remote internship program is what we're offering right now due to the whatever the situation is outside. And you may fear not, because we have inculcated all the features of how an offline program is going to be into the remote program. I'm going to talk about the program in detail. Before that, let's see this video once.
I'm sure you must have heard about emerging deep technologies like AI, ML, IoT, robotics, etc. Well, the valley is going crazy about hiring engineers and programmers from this sector. I'm sure even you want to learn about these technologies and are tired looking for a right platform. Well, the wait is finally over. A unique solution to learn while you intern. Smart Interns makes this really easy for you. Log into www.smartinterns.com/RSIP2020. Technology that you want to learn, fill in a simple form, and voila! Now you get to learn while you work as a remote intern with a team and a company. Now that's something. Once you are assigned to a project, you get to learn on your own remote location. Meet your teammates, a trusted mentor. Chart your progress together by learning and gaining experience on the subject. And the best part, all this can be done from anywhere. We just don't focus on learning, but also on the process by introducing you to model tools to code, document, and communicate. It's so user-friendly that everyone can understand how it works. Once you and your team are done with your project, you get level up on your skill score on a digital resume. How cool is that? Like they say, you only learn when you do. Well, it's your turn to intern. Log on to www.smartinterns.com/RSIP2020 now.
Yeah, okay. So let me know if you could go through it. Like, it was clear, right? The video and audio. Just let me know so that I can walk you through it. Awesome. So people, in the video, I don't know how far you understood what we're trying to offer, but the fact is that this remote internship program is unlike any other offerings that is there out in the market. Okay. So for starters, we are offering the program on 6 different technologies. That is artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic software developer, blockchain, cybersecurity, and IoT application developer. Now, talking in detail about the features that is clearly setting it apart. Now, first things, it is an online instructor-led training. So that means it is not like any Udemy course or any recorded video series that you're going to log in, subscribe, watch, and learn. No, it is purely driven by a mentor and a trainer live instructor-led training. And you're going to have mentors with you, clarifying your doubts throughout the session. We're also going to have a 24/7 mentor support even after the like instructor-led training. We're going to have mentor support if you can clarify their doubts, and they'll be going to help you to finish the project. So next comes the guided labs for practice. So people, if you could see in the video, there was different environments or features in the platform. This platform is called Smart Interns platform, where we've incorporated all the required features that would make it make you experience a company-like environment. So if you saw an agile board, right? We'll now say that you'll be forming into teams for the project development mode. Each individual will be assigned a particular task. Now take artificial intelligence, for example. For a project, we have data processing, data collection, data cleaning. So in each individual will be assigned individual tasks, and each individual will be monitored upon, and you'll be monitoring a progress. And once you think you're done with the assigned task, you'll put it into the review mode. Then the mentor will check. I'm going to write comments if it is any there's lag or anything to modify or update. You're going to tell them and put it back into progress. And again, you'll finish it. And once the mentor thinks that you're done with the project, you finish into the complete mode. Then you'll be getting to do an assessment. Now, once after the assessment is done, that task is finished. So in this throughout process, for each topic, be it Python for data science, for artificial intelligence, beginner course, intermediate, each topic you'll gain a skill tag. Now the platform that you've seen is like a beautiful dynamic platform. So these skill tags are online shareable. It could be put in your resumes. We also have this dynamic profile option where your profile is also being like dynamically created one as you progress through your journey. So we also have the option to statically include the details that you have previously done, any NPTEL courses or any other certifications that you've done, and also the things that you learn and earn or do a project or any internship in the platform. Those also will be dynamically reflected in your profile. And another excellent feature of this profile is it is an online open link, so that you could share it to any recruiter, you could share it to any master school that you'd apply for, or put it in the LinkedIn. It is an online open shareable link. And next, coming to guided labs of practice. So if you've seen, we've clearly the project template has been created. So there's a clear structure for you guys. It's not that you're starting from scratch. So you'll be having this guided labs of practice where each and every step is going to be broken down and going to tell you what to do where, and going to show what's the best learning resources, where to learn and how to do it. And everything is in a structured format so that it makes it easy for you to do hands-on practice after the online instructor training for that day. So what are the deliverables? The main deliverables are the training completion certificate, internship letter, a project completion letter, and also you'll be earning IBM skill badges. People have to understand one thing, this whole program is in collaboration with IBM as well. So you'll be getting those certifications also. And one more important thing is the working with the global team. So as you can understand now, this whole thing is in a remote internship program. So there is no restriction geographically. There's no geographical restriction, that's what I mean to say. Even in this webinar, we have students from Tamil Nadu, we have students from UP, we have students from Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, Mumbai. So there are varied people working on one webinar. Similarly, varied people coming into teams and working on one project. So this is your chance to build your team skills, your personality skills, communication skills as well. And also, we are also getting global applications from US, Singapore, Malaysia, Egypt, you name it, this event is globally. And also, is there for any personal emergency, if you have missed any online class that you couldn't attend, don't worry, because every day your videos, recorded videos or training will be uploaded to a platform and you will get access to those recorded videos. Now, what are the offerings or what are the modes that you can engage with this internship program? So we have three structures, as you can see on your screens. So first is the Career Basic program, which is for free of cost. Yes, you heard it right. It is a free internship program for those people who already possess the relevant skills. And we only take in the students via an assessment process. So if you think that you got the right skill set to crack the assessment and be a part of this, we are more than happy to help you. So what are the features that you'll be unlocking in the Career Basic program? You'll be getting an access to one project template. You'll be getting a 1 month access to the platform. And also you'll be finishing an individual project and earning an e-certificate, which is a huge resume builder. Coming to a Career Plus program where students, if you think that we need a bit more mentor support, or if there are any teaching courses or anything else apart from the free internship program, this is Plus is for you. We have 2 project templates. You'll be getting 2 months of access. And again, you'll be an individual or a team-based project. You'll be getting an e-certificate, a resume builder, self-learning videos, guided labs. Now, the difference is the guided lab, self-learning videos, and the mentor support, which is not being given in the Career Basic program. So coming to Career Pro, this is the ultimate tool for you to upskill yourself on the technological career. It will be unlocking all the features and all the aspects of our portal. You'll be getting a dedicated mentor support. Apart from all the features in place, you'll be getting 45 hours of live classes. Now, these live classes is very important, which is not present in any other or the other 2 modes that we are offering. So we have live trainer support, we have dedicated mentor support, and also 3 project templates and a 3-month access to the platform, apart from the e-certificate and the project completion certificate, and also a physical certificate will be delivered to your home address. So this is the offerings that we have, and it's clearly going to make the difference that you're looking forward to and make the most of your time in these holidays that you have. And I'm going to mail you the link of the website and other details to your mails. So don't worry, you could register for the Career Basic program without any delay. But just in case for people who want to check the website out prior to the mails that you receive, I'm going to drop the 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat so that everyone can see. Yeah, I've just given the website link in the chat box. So please go to the website. Everything is clear. Do register. Do not let go of this opportunity. So we are more than happy to help you upskill on the emerging technology stack and make you industry ready. So that's it from my side. I'll hand it over to Manjunath. Thank you for the time, and please you may answer the Q&As now.
Thank you, Vishnu. I could see a few questions. For the first one is, can RPA be used to solve COVID-19? Yes, of course. We have come up with a special program through our Blue Prism for Good, and we are offering our tools for free of cost where there is a need for COVID-19 to, where if there is a need in utilizing the RPA platform, definitely we are tying up with various health institutions as well as various other processes where definitely it is being used for. And if it is helpful for them, definitely we are providing it for free of cost. And we are also doing it for a social cause. What cannot be automated using Blue Prism? So right now, we can automate many processes as such. I think, Vinay, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, so there is a question which says, what cannot be automated using Blue Prism?
I think that's a fairly generic question. So I would tackle it in 2 parts. So in terms of business processes where humans are working or interacting with applications, that is easily automatable with Blue Prism, right? We see very rare percentages of use cases not being able to be automated for legacy application reasons or technology reasons. Even there, we try to create API layers, which is application programming interface layers, and work around with that as well. In some more parts where there is no need for RPA, maybe that's why you don't do anything with Blue Prism, right? Things like over-the-counter sales, things like going in for a prescription from a doctor. But there are even scenarios around that which can be automated. For example, with the COVID-19 response program, which Manjunath was mentioning, there are technologies out there which help in diagnosing whether a patient is ill for certain reasons or not. Again, they're maturing, and as they mature along, Blue Prism is trying to integrate with them. So we will see a smaller and smaller spectrum of things that cannot be automated, but there are use cases currently which cannot be automated.
Thank you, Vinay. So yeah, most of the questions are related to how to join and how to earn the certificates. So I think there was a broader picture given during the webinar. So if you could connect with the SmartBridge and get to know more about our program and ensure that if you want to get into our Blue Prism University program and offer various certifications to your students as well as faculties, definitely we welcome that. That's the reason we are here. And you can get in touch with SmartBridge and see to it that how best it can be incorporated into your curriculum or as part of industry certification program, and make your students learn RPA and get enhanced on our tools and software. So only the generic questions which I could see is how to join and what kind of software, I mean, how to get hands-on experience. So which we have already mentioned and explained. Right. So is there any other questions? Definitely it is welcome. We welcome that.
I have one question to take up an answer to. I do see a couple of comments and chat, which is very valid. In the sense there is a gap between curriculum and industry. The technology initiated in 2000 and folks are only getting to know about in 2020. We understand that there have been gaps and there are gaps between the education system and the industry, right? But with organizations such as ours becoming a little more mature and driving across our own university platforms, SmartBridge creating their own platforms, that gap will get closer, and you will start seeing a minimal effect there. And it also depends a lot on person-to-person interest. So if you can leverage whatever we showcase, I think that goes a long way to being industry relevant.
Guys, 1 second. So everyone, a note. I've made the feedback poll live, so I think you can see it on your screens or under your tabs or anything. But please give the feedback. And also, I can see many questions on the recording and all. So don't worry, the recording of today's webinar will be uploaded to the YouTube and will be sent to your mails with the YouTube link. Don't worry. And I'm sorry, there's no e-certificate being provided. We are working on a better strategy to issue a certificate on the further webinars. For this webinar, there's no e-certificate provided. Yeah, thank you. Guys, you can continue taking questions.
So I think that's pretty much from my end, Manjunath, unless you have something else to answer. I think the rest of the questions, like you said,
I think it's all generic. Yeah, it's all generic. So I think Vishnu, we have answered most of the questions which were there in the chat box as well as in the Q&A.
Yeah, so we will be sharing the details, guys. Any university application details or anything, I'll be taking the details from Anjana and be sending mails to you so that you can start your process. And also we'll be sending the mail with the YouTube link with the webinar recording and also the link to join in the remote internship program as well. So these are all the required materials, and the links will be sent to your email IDs respectively. So do not worry on that point. So yeah, if you could just fill the feedback poll, I think we can wrap the session. If there's any other questions there, people please drop in the chat or Q&A. Okay, guys, I'll just show you the real-time platform that we have. So let me know, yeah, if you can see my screen. So guys, this is the platform that we have for you guys to access in our remote internship program, the career basic program. So you'll be giving a basic assessment, after which you will be getting the access to the whole platform. Let me take you through the internship workspace of any project. Like I'll just show you how the project's workspace is going to be and how it is different and how we are trying to incorporate the work environment. So this is a typical project workspace where a team is going to be assigned. Each individual is going to be given a particular task. You can see the overall project progress, assign task progress. You're going to get mentor instructions from the company side as well as from the SmartBridge side, and also the project details. So this is what I have told you. This is the structure. This is what the project template that I've been talking about. So we have milestones, we have activities. So you'll be getting to know what to do, how to do in detail. So this is how you can see the project template that's been given. You can see that there are reference links also for you to make the task easier. So once the tasks that have been created, so this is what is called an agile board or Kanban board. So this is what typically you'll get to work with once you start in the corporate environment, be it any project that you take up. So the project or task will be assigned in data collection. The task is create, train, and test folders. So this has been in progress. Now, once if you think if you've done 100%, you'll put it in the review. Now here this is the company side login. Now, yeah, no, this is the student side login. So that's why I cannot move it to the complete. So typically we'll have a mentor side login where the mentor is going to review and going to give comments of anything and post it and then put it back into in progress or to complete. So that's how this.
Vishnu, you can explain about the integrations, GitHub and Document Writer and Slack.
Yeah, definitely. So people and another key integrations that we have in our platform are these three integrations. That is, one is GitHub, Zoho Writer, and Slack channel. So you can directly upload your code into the GitHub and also be specific to the team projects that you're building. We also have Zoho Writer integration, which we have, which will make your documentation process very smooth. 1 second. One second, guys. Okay. So basically, Zoho Doc is much more advanced than the Google Docs that you generally work with. So in the Zoho Doc, you'll be getting the workspace where you can embed code into it. You can embed table. You could embed text. You could embed images. And also one more key important thing is all the team members of your project can access the Zoho Doc simultaneously from anywhere, and even the mentor can be reviewing the project or the documentation as you work on it. So typically when we work in project, we generally tend to do the whole project, and in last one day or last minute you'll be rushing, copying the documents of other people and changing the titles and all, right? So that could be avoided, because as you code or as you build your project, you can do your documentation as well. As you can see, we can insert image, table, link, bookmark, code, text box, fields. And as you can see, it's a beautiful platform where we have multiple features and we can review, and we can also add comments here so that the mentor and other team members can also see what comments and what modifications can be changed, and we can work simultaneously on one document. So that is Zoho Doc. And we also have a Slack channel. So people who don't know Slack, so Slack is typically a networking channel where it is used for in a community workspace. Basically, I can say that it is a Gmail and a Facebook combined together. So we can create groups in it, we can have conversations, we can share files, and we can upload documents. It is a beautiful communication channel where everyone will be at one workspace. So we also have the Slack. So these are the three important key features that we embedded into the platform, which is going to make your internship and project experience worthwhile. Yeah. So let me show you the certifications, how the certificate is going to be. Once you finish the project, this is how a typical demo certificate is going to look like. As I told, this is an online shareable link. So this can be shared to anything. You can also print certificate, download, save it as a file, not an issue. And this is a profile that I have been talking about. So we can build a profile, work experience and everything, and we can also generate a public link. Now this is the beautiful feature of this. We can have a public link of a profile that we've been building, and the Python skill set, machine learning, skill badges, skill tags is all going to be dynamically showed up on your resume, apart from any static skills that you already added. So your skill set or skill tags will be dynamically uploaded or updated here. We can have all the links that you want to showcase, and this is an open source link that you can share it with anyone. Yeah, so I guess these are the few basic features which is very important. Okay. Let me also show you guided lab. So this is an overview of how a guided lab will look like. Yeah. So as you can see, on day-to-day basis, you're going to have an online instituted training, right? So after the training, what you have to do, you can go through this guided labs, you can revise what's been taught, there are going to be assessments going to be given on daily basis. So based on the guided labs and the assessment, you're going to practice for day-to-day of every topic that you'll be learning. Like this. Now, NumPy, you've been taught. We've resourced and put you the best source links for you to understand the concepts. Under each concept, we're giving an activity so that you can practice what has been taught. So these are the basic overview of how a guided lab is going to look like. So I'm sure that this is something that you've not seen elsewhere. And that's why I'm going to stress on the fact that it is a clear game changer out there and very important program for you to upskill and grow as a person on a technological curve. So if there are any other questions that if you would like to ask me, I'd more than happy to answer. Also, I'd also give the link of the portal so that you can apply right now. So smartinterns.com /RCIP2020 is the website. Yeah. The pricing, as I told, the pricing comes in three categories. One is a free internship. As you can see, guys, this is the website smartinterns.com /RCIP2020. So these are the pricing people. The career basic program comes for free of cost. It's a free internship. People who require the mentor support, the guided labs that I've shown you right now, the project space, self-learning videos, a mentor support. Career Plus program comes for 2,500, 2,499 to be precise. And the Career Pro, which is going to unlock 3 months of access to platform, 3 project templates, and online classes, dedicated mentor support, physical certificate is for 4,500. So these are the costings that you can see. So also, yeah, we're going to send you a clear mail, and all the contact details will be sent to you so that you can contact us for any more details. But in the meantime, go through our website smartinterns.com /RCIP2020. So that's it from my end, guys. I hope you got at least a good picture of what you're going to work with and how it is going to be different from other internship offerings that you have. Yes, the certificate is recognized internationally. As you've seen, we have a very good collaborations. Also, we have IBM collaboration, IUC collaboration, VMware collaboration. So, yes. All right, guys, I'm going to end the poll right now. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I once again thank you, Manjunath and Vinay from Blue Prism for taking their time out of the weekend and helping us to give this knowledge sharing session on robotic process automation. It's been a truly a wonderful session. Thank you, Manjunath. And thank you, every attendee who has been part of this webinar. You clearly made it a success. For any more details, please contact us, go to the website. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Manjunath.
Thank you all. Thank you.